This chapter directly continues from the previous chapter. Please ensure you follow the web series chronologically. All the links will be provided in the description below. Thank you.
The House of Kuru, Part 1, Chapter 18, The New King of Hastinapura. Pandu was a broad-shouldered, tall, and pale-skinned prince. He was spectacular with the bow and arrow and had won repute across the land as the mightiest of archers. He was patient and pertinent with matters of the state. However, although he was well established with the bow, he lacked the discipline of education, primarily statecraft, diplomacy, and economics. Despite being tutored by some of the best ministers, his key strengths were in the agility of the bow. He made up for this, however, with his intimate relationship with his younger brother Vidura. Vidura was a bastion of knowledge. Vidura was a tall, handsome man with a twinkle in his eye. Vidura could recite from memory almost any new law passed by the king over the past century. He was also an astute politician with a silver tongue for diplomacy. Had Vidura been the firstborn, there would have been no doubt that he would have taken on the burden of kingship and Hastinapura would have been blessed for it. Nevertheless, Pandu recognized that Vidura was an apt counterpart to his weakness and constantly confided in him everything regarding palace life. Pandu and Vidura were inseparable. Pandu would constantly debate with Vidura on matters of the state, only to lose in each and every argument. Though in his loss, he would learn a little on administration of the state and would be thankful for it. A behavior the wise Bhishma keenly observed. Bhishma approached Pandu one fine morning just as he was completing his dawn rituals to worship the sun. Pandu, I have heard nothing but praise from all members of the palace, military, and priests regarding your temperament, capacity to rule, and leadership. You have with you all the qualities fit for an emperor of the mighty land of Hastinapura. And thus I will be crowning you as the scion of the empire and Yuvaraja of the kingdom, said Bhishma, while he puffed with pride. Pandu folded both his palms of his hand and said, Great-grandfather Bhishma, it would be an honor to take the reins of the empire and fulfill the burdens of monarchy, but I have my hesitations. Firstly, I am the second-born son, and rules of primogeniture dictate that the firstborn shall rule the land. And secondly, we both are fully aware of how much Dhritarashtra desires the throne. He will be devastated. Surely you would have reasoning behind your proposal? Enquired Pandu. Dhritarashtra is blind, Pandu. When learning the rules of statecraft, did you forget to comprehend this? Asked Bhishma with a sigh. The rules are very clear. The king must not in any way be handicapped or compromised before the crowning ceremony. I trust that allays your hesitations? Asked Bhishma. The first, yes, but let's not forget that he still desperately desires the throne, said Pandu. Well, currently he is distracted with his newfound love, and hence I feel this is the most opportune moment. Let us hurry before the excitement of his marriage wears off, said Bhishma. With that it was settled. Pandu was chosen scion of the Kuru house, and the empire of Hastinapura. The astrologers were consulted on the best day for coronation, and there was celebration everywhere. Well, almost everywhere. Neither Shakuni nor Dhritarashtra were happy about the turn of events. However, neither of them had the courage to bring it up to Bhishma, especially since one of them had already done so. Dhritarashtra was desperate for the throne. He felt it a personal insult not to be crowned. "I will be the only king in the entire dynasty of the Kurus who was not the scion, all because of my blindness," he cried, sitting right next to Shakuni. Dhritarashtra was careful to never show any sign of weakness in front of his new love Gandhari, yet he felt an unfamiliar amount of comfort with Shakuni. "All things said, my king, you are still a member of the palace. Your words will undeniably add weight to the rulings of the empire," comforted Shakuni. "I do not care for the rulings of the empire, nor the life of a prince. I care for what's been denied to me, my birthright to the throne. There is no glory for the firstborn of the noble house to be cast aside as a used cloth," lamented Dhritarashtra. Shakuni was helpless. He was unable to console Dhritarashtra, nor was he daring enough to confront Bhishma. The two lamented together in a state of helplessness, until Gandhari entered the bedchamber of the prince. Dhritarashtra had heard the tinkling of her anklets several feet away, so she did not surprise him. He had readied himself for her arrival and looked beaming and cheerful. She came and hugged the young blind prince while Shakuni got the gist and hurriedly left the bedchamber of the prince. Shakuni, however, was not to dwell on misfortune for long. He knew that, as Dhritarashtra so aptly pointed out, Dhritarashtra was uninterested in matters of the state or authority. Dhritarashtra was only interested in the title. Shakuni realized that he could easily rule through Dhritarashtra while giving him the title he so desperately desired. He then began scheming, thinking, pondering, and plotting how to dethrone the mighty Pandu and place the desperate Dhritarashtra as scion of the empire. This will be tricky. He has to overcome Bhishma, Vidura, and various other ministers who have already sided with Pandu. The glorious day of the coronation finally arrived. Hundreds upon hundreds of priests from across the land were invited to sing hymns in praise of the gods, for the noble house of Kuru has finally got a strong, capable leader to bear the burden of kingdom. Costly gifts, presents, and jewels were donated to the poor. The entire nation was fed, watered, and sheltered in a massive palace. The coronation lasted for days, and finally, the mighty Pandu was crowned as the Yuvaraja, the scion of the empire, the lion of the nation, the hero of the people. Ambalika was beaming with happiness. Satyavati was swollen with pride. Vidura stood by his brother with a look of immense importance, and Bhishma? Well, Bhishma sighed a huge sigh of relief as the crown of jewels were placed on Pandu. Pandu was the best choice for the safety, security, and the continuity of the kingdom. "Gentlemen, honored ladies, heroes, and noble priests," began Bhishma, "today is a glorious day for the house of Kuru. I present to you the great and mighty Pandu. Pandu is well versed in the secrets of archery. His feats with the bow stun and stupefy even the foremost of archers and the best of bowmen. But is he just a warrior? Not just, no. Well versed in statecraft, law, and virtue, the mighty scion of the race of Pandu is a ray of light, a great and powerful blessing to this land. Upon his marriage, he will no longer be the scion, but the king of Hastinapura," bellowed Bhishma, to the cacophony of trumpets, cheers, and drums. Even Pandu couldn't help feeling a little proud.
I hope you liked today's episode of The House of Kuru. If you have not already, please subscribe to this channel and like this video so that you will be notified every time a new video is uploaded. Thank you.